Hi, JJ here again from 22 Explosive Hits. I'm I'm going to talk about remote control.
Girl said yes, and he said
No. Remote control.
And now he's got his own game show.
Remote control.
And now it's his basement, his rules, his game show.
Remember this show? This show was an exciting show. I lived for every episode. It was actually a game show. I didn't mind repeating itself actually because they did so much fun stuff on the show. It had like pop culture trivia from the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s up to the 80s, so when it aired. It also had on there a lot of music trivia, and they did some really crazy antics I remember on the show. The one was actually, it was Adam Sandler made his debut on this show.
This is Colin Cap. How are you? I got some nice ones. Oh, this is good.
You're a delinquent, aren't
Yeah, I feel good about it, too. Thank you. I tell you, the other night I was out with my girlfriend at this bar, and I leave for a couple of minutes. I just got to take a whiz, so I walk away. And I come back, and she's sucking on this other guy's neck, right? So I start clanging their heads together, and it's making that noise that's like the title of U2's movie. What's the name of the movie?
Was Snack Break. Snack Break was a time on the show when food would come flying down from the sky. They would hold up a bowl, and then they would eat their snack because it was Snack Break, and that's when they would take a commercial break and then come back with round two.
you? Oh, yeah. There you go. While you're smacking away, let's look at the points. Tom 45, Albert Scott.
And the best part of the show that I think everybody remembers and it became like probably the most popular category was Colin Quinn had on there Sing Along with Colin. And he would sing with a really raspy voice. He would sing, whatever the tune was. So it was like, "Darling, we were born to run." It was, and the other thing I remember is that it changed all the time, but there always was a hot chick on his arm.
My thrill. On Blueberry Hill. When I found you, Sheila. On Blueberry Hill. The moon stood still, Al.
Every time there was a music guy. I don't remember his name. I think his name was Steve. But then you had Quinn there, and you always had a hot chick. And the hot chick did change from season to season. Now, I worked on an intern on a play. This guy who did video needed help on a play. Don't ask me why. He asked for interns, and you get experience working on a play. And I was like, all right. So I worked costumes on a play, in the middle of New York City, some avant-garde play. And the female lead, I looked at her bio, and she was actually, she was one of the models for Remote Control. So what I ended up doing was I went up to her, and as a stupid idiot, I think I was 18, I said this. I was like, "I've had a crush on you forever since I've seen you on TV all the time." And that creeped her out, and for the entire time of the internship, she stayed as far away from me as she possibly could. So yeah, I remember doing that. That was not a very good moment in my life, but hey, we all try something at sometimes. But this DVD that I do have is a bootleg. They never released these you will find people that have videotaped them and posted them on YouTube. People have posted them to news groups, or they posted them different bootlegs because they recorded them off of VHS at the time. Because actually it was really a lot of MTV stuff was preserved. I don't know if people know this or not. On a side note, a lot of MTV was preserved because people that didn't have cable in the 80s, like they may have lived in a rural area or something where they couldn't have cable, so they couldn't get MTV. They would actually have MTV, like their buddy or their cousin, record MTV for them and just put it on the 8-hour mode, like while you're sleeping, buddy, put on MTV, I want to watch it. And they would record MTV for them, and then they could watch it at their leisure to what they had. So a lot of those tapes got preserved, so that's why this stuff actually came out. On here, what it is on this DVD, the person compiled it. There was episodes when Ken Ober, the host, and all of them are reminiscing, like, I remember when this happened. And one of the things that actually happened in the episodes as well was related to me. Was I went to school with this girl by the name of Patty, and she was an intern. She was an upperclassman when I was a freshman, but she was interned on Remote Control, and she told me how much fun it was when Remote Control. I do remember her telling me in the cafeteria that they had an episode where the contestants sucked so bad at the answers and they were getting nowhere with them. So what they did is they kicked them all off. And they kicked, I don't know how they did it. Maybe they just gave them all consolation prizes or what they did. But they kicked them off of the show and brought on the interns to say, okay, guys, now you try to do this. And so Patty ended up actually going on remote control. She made it to the final round. In the final round, they would always have you like pick these, they had TVs that were like flipped and kind of weird. And they'd have you.
Probably haven't pretty much figured out by now anyway. Anyway, here we go. On your mark. Get set. Go.
1 for 3,
Yes.
2, Genesis,
Yes.
3, Madonna,
Yes.
4, pass.
Like pick which one you want to actually what group, that was it, what group was actually up there. So Bon Jovi won, and you would name off the groups. So she didn't do that part very well, but she made it past basically the second round, and then she went on to do that. So I didn't know her, so it was really cool seeing a video of someone like, hey, I know that person. I knew that person, and it was actually in this, coincidentally, was actually in this episode. I'd heard about the episode. I just never, for whatever reason, saw it, and it was actually in here because it was a cool moment on the show when they did that. I remember like Bob Eubanks would stop by. He had a whole homage to Bob Eubanks on this set. It really was a fun show because it was like anything goes, anything went. They would just try anything new. They would try anything different. And it was always interesting with the categories. Some categories weren't successful, and then you wouldn't see them again. But it really is an opportunity, I think, because I think that I don't know this for a fact, but I think MTV just kind of let it go and let it be its own thing because it was getting ratings. The prizes were cool. It's fun to actually watch some of these. That's my favorite part about watching old game shows, is sometimes seeing the prizes.
You're playing with power.
And it's a collection of capital CDs, including the latest hits from such artists as Crowded House and Duran Duran.
Have fun with Carousel's Gumball Machine collection of A, Gumball Machine Telephone, D, Gumball Machine Land, the 1940s topper, and supply of Carousel Gumballs.
From Casio, the TV 1400, a mini-color TV with rod antenna and built-in speaker. Now you can have 24 hours of entertainment, wow, right in the palm of your hand, watching Remote Control. From Casio, when Remote Control is you.
That's Remote Control. Those are my viewpoints on Remote Control. If you have any memories of Remote Control, post them in the comments below. I think it's kind of fun nostalgia thing. That's my whole channel. What I'm based on is nostalgia, bringing us back to the old days, back in the day, as people like to say. So let's just remember, vinyl community. Let's bring each other up rather than bring each other down. Have a great day.